Welcome. Before we call the meeting to order, we'll have a prayer by Councilwoman Wiseman, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Dear Lord, thank you for permitting us to gather this evening to conduct the work of our city. Please guide us this evening and be with city personnel and emergency staff in conducting their daily affairs. Please watch over them and guide them safely. Thank you for the service of this council in the past year and guide us through the current year. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone. I'll now call to order the Monday, April 16th, 2018 City Council meeting. Mrs. Donaldson, roll call, please.
Fitzwater. Here. Graham.
Here.
Henry.
Here.
Hussey.
Here.
Kimna.
Here.
Mahalovich.
Here.
Prather.
Here.
Schreiber.
Here.
Ward.
Here.
Wiseman.
Here.
At this time, I'll entertain a motion for adoption of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Item 4, miscellaneous agenda items. Item A, recognizing our April Outstanding Employee of the Month, which is Clayton Tobin. Welcome, Mr. Kroll.
And I will ask Mr. Tobin to come forward, and the Director of Finance and Information Technology, Margie Miller. So congratulations to Clayton Tobin, City of Jefferson Information System Support Specialist in the Finance and Information Technology Department, for receiving the City of Jefferson Outstanding Employee Service Award for April 2018. The recognition is not only for the specific examples referenced in the information form, but also in recognition of all the service Mr. Tobin provides to the citizens of Jefferson City on an ongoing basis. And I'll read through a few of the items that were mentioned in the nomination form. Mr. Tobin always goes out of his way to provide outstanding customer service. He is quick and efficient, and his response time is outstanding. One example of Mr. Tobin's outstanding customer service occurred when the city had an outside vendor who had last-minute technical needs on a few occurrences. The information technology staff had a very short notice regarding the specific needs of the vendor. Mr. Tobin was able to accommodate the needs of the vendor in a timely manner. Mr. Tobin had to work in between interviews in order to accomplish the needs of the vendor, which Mr. Tobin did. Mr. Tobin is always pleasant and prompt in responding to service requests. Clayton, this is a quote, "Clayton always has a smile on his face and goes above and beyond to make it happen," end quote. Mr. Tobin's dedication and attention to detail have helped the city of Jefferson provide accurate and timely information upon which important decisions are made. Mr. Tobin's follow-through on projects, tasks, and commitments is excellent. Mr. Tobin is not hesitant to offer suggestions for improved service. Mr. Tobin's significant contributions to the overall quality of life of the city are recognized and appreciated. I do need to mention there was one little item that came up that we tried to get around and had to really talk a lot about, and Clayton is a New England's Patriot fan, particularly of Tom Bradley, something, I don't know. So we got through that, trying to get him over to the Chiefs side. But congratulations and thanks to Clayton Tobin, City of Jefferson Information System Support Specialist, Finance and Information Technology Department, on receiving the City of Jefferson Outstanding Service Award for April 2018. Does such a great job for us. So we have a few fans here. You have some family members here you want to introduce?
Yes. I've got my wife Sabrina, my daughter Quinn, daughter Zoe, son Milo, my mom Shirley, and my dad Jerry.
Great. Glad you're here.
Welcome to all of you. And Clayton,
Some other information technology folks here as well. Just stand up so we all can recognize you all as well.
well, welcome and thank you. And Mr. Tobin, I echo everything Steve mentioned about your outstanding service. And all of us know with our iPads now that we have how much extra help and assistance that some of us might need, but it's beyond that. It's the whole information technology is very complex, and I don't think people truly realize how much work you do behind the scenes to keep everything running so smoothly with the city, and it affects everything that we do in providing our services. So thank you for going above and beyond. We appreciate it very much, and I'd like to present to you a city coin. So if you'd like to come forward, we'll get a picture, and you're certainly welcome to invite your family forward as well if they'd like to be in the picture too, and any of our IT staff as well.
Come on up. Let's get everybody. IT staff, come on. Let's get them in.
I don't know. Yeah, you gave that look to him. It's like,
And just so John can see where he's supposed to stand. All right. Good? Okay. Say cheese. I do as I'm told.
yeah.
All right. Item B, we have the Mayor's Golf Tournament scheduled for June 1st. I'd like to welcome Mayor John Landwehr to the podium. Welcome, Mayor Landwehr. Always an honor to have you here at City Hall.
It's always a pleasure coming back. Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I know you got a big agenda, so I won't take a lot of your time, but you've got the flyers, June 1, the 13th Annual Mayor's Cup Golf Tournament. There's a nice lunch at noon. There's a shotgun start at 1 o'clock, 2 players for a team, $80 per player, cash prizes, assorted beverages. There are 3 goals of the Mayor's Cup Golf Tournament. Number 1, let our local Kiwanis Club raise a little money for local youth programs. That's where every dollar goes. Secondly, get some folks over to Oak Hills who might not have been there in a number of years. They've made some recent improvements, and when folks come and play and they haven't been there for a while, they're really amazed at the improvements. So it's kind of a PR thing. And third, of course, just have some fun. Todd Spalding and the mayor and Stephanie, your pro, have been very supportive in recent years, and we really appreciate that. So in the vein of having fun, I thought we'd like to get the city staff and elected officials a little more engaged. Make it really a city tournament. There are a lot of non-city folks there, of course, but kind of make it your tournament. We'd be glad to make some special recognitions for the best score among city staff. I'll bet we could find something from a Hallmark store to maybe present. Also, I think there could be some interesting challenges among the groups. Now, I heard somewhere that the people from the 4th Ward think that they can beat any other ward by at least 4 strokes. I just heard that somewhere. All right, so let's get it on. You know, I think the city council members could challenge the county commission. Maybe if the council wins, the county could give up a little more of that road and bridge tax that they collect from Jefferson City residents, right? City Public Works could challenge the county Public Works. And I've heard that fire personnel tend to be better golfers than police.
Whoa.
Because they get to practice their putting every day at the stations. So maybe we could see if there's a little Guns N' Roses competition out there. So the sign-up information is on your sheets. Hope we can have a great turnout for a fun event and a great cause. If you're not a golfer, hole sponsors are $50. One of the least expensive hole sponsorships ever in the community. $50. Get your name on a hole as a supporter. Thanks for your time on your crowded agenda tonight.
Mayor Landwehr, thank you for keeping this going for 13 years. This is a proud tradition that we are very happy to carry on, and appreciate you highlighting our city for the sake of Kiwanis, and appreciate that. And I think we need to have a council challenge as well, like you said, 4th Ward, and I'm 4th Ward, so I will say I believe that. And I think that we might be able to do some selfie challenge between selfie with the mayor and selfie with the mayor. So come forward, and we're going to start right now with our selfie.
No, we're not going to do that. What I don't do for the Kiwanis Club.
What you don't do, so we're going to.
All right.
Okay, let's see.
Where do you want me?
How about right here? Oops.
My wife says I have a face made for radio.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you, John.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. And I also do want to, first of all, thank you for this, but also that we are thinking of you and your family. I know the recent passing of your mother, Mildred, and I remember her when you were selling the quilt raffles, that she was still quilting. I believe she was 102?
She'll be 100. She would have been 103 in July.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, she was certainly a wonderful example and leader in our community, and I know she was your mother, but she was kind of like everybody's mother in Jefferson City. We all knew her and appreciate all that she has done for our community as well.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you, John. All right, item C, we have Arbor Day proclamation. And is this through Mr. Spalding? Would this be through Parks to accept this Arbor Day proclamation?
Well, I'd be happy to on behalf of the department and the forestry group, yes.
Wonderful. So we have a proclamation here to, I'll read just a couple of lines here out of it, that whereas the trees in our city create an urban forest, a pleasant and helpful environment by providing beauty, energy savings, better air quality, and living symbols of hope for a bright future for all of us here in our community. And Jefferson City is very fortunate to have our natural trees in our parks and along our greenway system. And that also wanted to highlight that Ameren, Missouri has provided a monetary gift to replenish trees within our community that were removed through their Tree Line USA program. And also highlighting that Serve Jeff City has organized and provided community volunteer labor to assist with the planting of trees within Myrtle and Livingston Park. And so the City of Jefferson Parks, Recreation, and Forestry is responsible for the urban forest program in Jefferson City and has attained and maintained the standards of tree care necessary for Jefferson City to remain a tree city for the 20th consecutive year. So therefore, Mayor Carrie Turgeon, City of Jefferson, do hereby proclaim April 21st, 2018, so this Saturday, as Arbor Day, and I encourage all citizens to participate in the observance of this special day with planting of trees in our community. So we look forward to Serve Jefferson City, which is this coming weekend as well, assisting with that, and April 21st being Arbor Day. So Todd, I'll come down and present this to you, and Margie can take a picture then. All right, our next proclamation is for Thomas Jefferson Month. And as we know, we have his picture behind us here on our city seal. So we are celebrating because it is his 275th birthday this year. So there's a big celebration and birthday party that will be here in the city. So whereas Thomas Jefferson was born on April 13th, 1743, and whereas Thomas Jefferson was an American founding father who is the principal author of the Declaration of Independence and later served as the third president of the United States from 1801 to 1809, and whereas Thomas Jefferson organized the Louisiana Purchase, almost doubling the country's territory, and whereas Jefferson appointed Meriwether Lewis and William Clark to be leaders of the Corps of Discovery from 1803 to 1806, and whereas Jefferson considered democracy to be the expression of society and promoted national self-determination, cultural uniformity, and education of all males of the Commonwealth, he supported public education and a free press as essential components of a democratic nation. And whereas Jefferson's tombstone is a short distance from Jefferson City at the University of Missouri and states, quote, "Here was buried Thomas Jefferson, author of the Declaration of American Independence, of the Statute of Virginia for Religious Freedom, and father of the University of Virginia." And whereas the city of Jefferson is named in honor of Thomas Jefferson, therefore I declare April 2018 as Thomas Jefferson Month as we celebrate the 275th year since his birth. So along with that, I'm going to call on Councilman Mahalovich, who's actually helping to plan the birthday party.
Yeah, on April 30th, we have an event at Avenue HQ. It'll start at 6 o'clock, and the presentations will start at 6:30. We had asked ninth graders or middle school and high school students to enter a contest for an essay, and the question was, why should Thomas Jefferson matter today? And so on that day, April 30th, we will have an event at Avenue HQ at 6 o'clock. Thankful for the event sponsors, the City of Jefferson, Jefferson Bank, Missouri Governor's Mansion, Cultural Arts Commission, Historic City of Jefferson, Lewis and Clark Task Force, News Tribune, and Schulte Fine Foods are among our event sponsors.
Thank you, Councilman Mahalovich, for working on that birthday party. We invite the public to attend and show some appreciation and use that as an educational opportunity to learn more about our namesake.
And I already got my socks, thanks to the mayor. So
Your
I'm
Thomas
prepared,
Jefferson
yes.
socks, yes. So I think we should do a selfie up here, Councilman Mahalovich, with Thomas Jefferson in the background with the proclamation. We'll just do that. How's that? There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Yeah, you'll have to have the hat next time. We're gonna, some of us might be dressing up. And Thomas Jefferson will be there in person. So, all right, thank you. Item 5, public hearings. We have item A, which is Bill 2017-126.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, changing, amending, and modifying the zoning map of the zoning code of the City of Jefferson by rezoning .92 acres of land addressed as 994 Diamond Ridge from C-O Office Commercial to C-1 Neighborhood Commercial.
Mr. Barron?
Thank you, Thank you, Madam Mayor. First to orient you to the location of this request. Up on the screen is a location map of the city with the property highlighted. It's located on Diamond Ridge, just a short distance north of West Edgewood Drive. The property is currently zoned as CO, which is an office commercial zoning district. And this bill would rezone the property to a C1, which is a neighborhood commercial zoning district. The purpose of the request is to locate a personal services business, a hair salon, and spa, in the lower level of the building. There's a bit of history in the area. The property right across Diamond Ridge from this property went through a similar rezoning about 5 years ago, and that rezoning was approved by both through the Planning and Zoning Commission and this body. The Planning and Zoning Commission did recommend approval of this request on a vote of 8-0. I'd be happy to answer any questions prior to opening the public hearing.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Barron? All right, at this time, we will open the public hearing for Bill 2017-126. Is there anyone here that would like to speak on that bill this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will close the public hearing portion, and we will take up Bill 2017-126. Is there any council discussion or questions? All right, so seeing none, a roll call, please.
Fitzwater.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Kimna.
Aye.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Bill passes. Item 6, appointments by the mayor. We have appointments to the following boards and commissions. We have, for the TIF Commission, Mr. John Pelzer, and the CVB Board, we have Mrs. Connie Vaughn. Is there a motion to approve those two recommendations?
So moved.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. We always appreciate all who volunteer for our boards. Item 7, presentations from staff, consultants, and invited guests. We have here Mr. Gary Wilbers, Local Small Business Fairness. If you'd like to come forward, and you might have some guests there with you as well. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. I'm here on behalf of other small business owners too that's here in the room with me. And really, I just wanted to bring your attention. As you may be aware, I've been a small business owner in the area for the last 28 years. And I've had been a small business owner myself. And today I help a lot of other small business owners in our area. I'm here tonight to discuss with you, our local small business owners, some fairness issues. And basically on online sales from out-of-state companies are hurting the viability of our local small businesses. I believe we need to support our local businesses by taking a look at incorporating a use tax in Jefferson City. Over 100 plus cities in Missouri have a local use tax, and I believe it's vital for 3 main reasons. The first one is that fairness issue. Our small businesses in Jefferson City, if they come into our stores, they pay that. Of course, if they come in and they buy that from an out-of-state vendor online, they do not. And it's also to help really level the playing field is point number 2 for our local businesses, so they're in that same position that any other company has. And our third one is our local businesses are the ones that support our local charities and our community groups, and that is a way they're able to give back to our community. So our local businesses need that support. And I believe if we want our city to continue to grow, we're going to need a strong retail front for our community. And I believe our local retailers deserve that support. So I would like you to consider placing a use tax. I don't know how all the systems work, if it's creating an ordinance or what, but putting that on a ballot issue so our citizens have that capability, and really to make it fair for our local retailers here in Jefferson City to compete with all those online capabilities that's out there now. Any questions? That's really all my comments, and just really want to bring this forward because as I visit with small business owners, this is becoming a big issue for them.
Thank you, Mr. Wilbers. Does council have any questions or comments? Councilman Hussey?
Thanks, Gary, for being here. You're recommending placing it on a ballot. Do you have an election in mind for us to do this, or?
I think it just needs to be as soon as possible because the challenge is it's not getting any less and our business owners are feeling it. I do a lot of business coaching and some of my clients are feeling that, so I think the sooner the better.
Okay.
And I don't know how all the time frames with the tax issues of, how many, when the dates and all those things come up, but I think it should be sooner than later.
Okay.
Councilman
you.
Mahalovich?
Mr. Bowman, could you give us guidance on the timeline and process?
Sure thing. The next available election is the August election. Deadlines pertinent to the August election, we would need a ordinance submitting the issue to the voters of the city by late May. I believe the day is May 21st, something like that. So we would need something by the second meeting in May in order to get it onto an August ballot.
Okay, any further questions? Councilman Fitzwater?
Once it's put on the ballot, are you anticipating, if it is put on the ballot, are you anticipating some type of an educational campaign or educational?
Yes, I
program
think
to-
that's the key because otherwise, right away, when you say tax, that's going to scare a lot of people off and things there. I think it's about education because we've got to let them know, kind of my 3 points, why it's so important for our local community, for fairness, for leveling the field, and also allow our local retailers that support the local charity groups and everything, donations that they do throughout our community. We've got to let the community know why that's so important. So when they vote for it, they're not really voting for a tax. It's something that today, if they go into a retail store, they pay. But I don't think they understand when they buy online that we miss those revenues and that affects our local retailers right here because it doesn't make it fair. So if someone's selling an item for whatever those dollars are, it creates that fairness issue. So to me, it's about an educational campaign. It's something that we've got to come out with and really let them know why it really helps our community. So yes, I plan on working with a committee, and if we need to put a committee together, and I think you will have to because I've been watching this from other communities, and they're having challenges when they just try to put it on the ballot and there's no education about it.
Councilman Prather?
You had mentioned that there are other cities throughout Missouri, but I believe also that Cole County and the actual state is collects use tax.
Yeah, the state and the county both have one, but the city does not have a use tax. So that's one of the reasons for the big, I think it's so important that we get it because then our state would have it, but our county has it and also the city, and it really would level that playing field.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions? And I notice you have some guests with you. If you wanted to, did you want to introduce any of them
Sure,
this
I
evening?
can introduce Bob Scruggs with Scruggs Lumber, Kevin Riley, Riley Chevrolet and Toyota, and Jeff DeLong with Custom Screen Printing. And I've been talking to other business owners too, and these are people that could fit it in their schedule to come, and there's other supporters that we have too. As we get this rolling, we're going to have a committee that's really, I think, very interested in
And
it.
I think Mrs. Susie Schaefer might have walked
Susie.
in too just now. Perfect
See,
timing, so.
we have busy schedules, and she came in late before I even came up here, so that's why I didn't look back that way. Sorry, Susie.
Councilman Mahalovich?
In respect to this request by business owners to level the playing field, and at least have it debated amongst the council and the community, I feel like we need to proceed with this by asking staff to draft ordinance to be debated on council for the next 2 meetings, I guess it would be, or more.
And
So-
if that's a motion, I second that.
Okay?
Okay, any further discussion on that? Okay, roll call, please.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry. Hussey. Kimna.
Aye.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward. Wiseman.
Aye.
Fitzwater.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes unanimously, so,
We'll have an ordinance prepared for the first meeting in May.
okay, thank you.
Thank you
All
for
right,
your
thank you being here.
consideration.
Thanks, Mr. Wilbers, and everybody who came along as well. Thank you. All right, item 8, we have announcements by mayor, council, and staff, and be sure to check out our meetings on Jefferson City. Oh, I'm sorry, I went right over. Item B, we have another special guest here this evening. We have Mrs. Abigail Anderson, the new CEO for American Red Cross, Central and North Missouri. Welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm so excited to be here with you. As a new face here in Jefferson City, I appreciate the opportunity to introduce myself and then also give you just a tiny brief overview about the Red Cross and what we've got going on here in the community. I do have some packets for each of you, councilmen and women. It provides my contact information as well as the slides that are behind you so you don't have to turn around and crane your head. So I was told I had an hour to talk. I'm just kidding. I have 5 minutes. So my name is Abigail Anderson. I've been with the Red Cross about 6 weeks. However, I'm not new to the non-for-profit game. It's been a career for me. I come from the State Historical Society of Missouri as their signature fundraiser. You might know in Columbia there's a $40 million building going up downtown. That was my pet project. I'm very proud of it. But here I am at the American Red Cross, and I'm so happy to be part of the Jefferson City community. I appreciate everything that you all are doing for the community, and I hope that we can partner together on several initiatives. So what I want to bring up to you today is 3 things on the agenda there. Getting to know you, getting to know me, and then also how does the American Red Cross relate to you as an elected official. And then I've also got some local contacts which are in those packets for you. So the American Red Cross provides 5 lines of service, and I'm sure you all are familiar with some of them, but might not know about all of them. The American Red Cross provides disaster relief services, and that's primarily the one that I wanted to bring to your attention. So in time of flood, which we are a river town, right? Fire or tornado, any type of whether it's a natural disaster or man-made, for instance, we do respond to things like school shootings. Unfortunately, it is a real thing. So we do respond to disaster services. We also provide services to the armed forces. We have many wonderful veterans in our community. We are serving them. We also provide health and safety services, CPR classes, for instance, international services, which is not so relevant to Jefferson City, and then also biomedical services, aka blood drives. The impact that we have on the Jefferson City community. So 105 families were assisted in disaster this last year. 2,316 received some type of a health and safety training and certification. 424 services were provided to military families, veterans, and 87 volunteers are housed here in Jefferson City. So where do you fit in as an elected official? That's what I want to bring to your attention. So here are some things that you can do to help partner with the Red Cross or to strengthen our partnership as an elected official. You can mention and support us, so when you're out in the community, you can bring up the Red Cross. Another thing you can do is like us on Facebook. Hashtag Red Cross CNMO. Another thing you can do is build your network. So you might know that we partner with several organizations in town, including the fire departments. Fire Chief Schofield is here tonight. We're actually partnering with him here in a couple weeks. We also provide you can give blood, or you can host a blood drive at a community event. That's another life-saving tool. Giving blood or platelets helps us to fight cancer in the community, helps us with disaster relief, helps the hospitals tremendously. You can also be prepared, so it's good to get to know us before you need us. We also have several apps that can keep you as elected officials informed about what's going on. This app is probably the most important, the emergency app. So in times of disaster, we delivered expert information in a way that's convenient for you. And when disaster strikes, we are there to help with the cleanup, to provide emotional support and relief. We're there to set up shelters. We're there to provide the basic necessities, water and food. In times of flood, fire, tornado, all of those things. So I did want to tell you about the April 28th event, Sound the Alarm. So it's installing 300 alarms, smoke alarms, in the Jefferson City community. We're partnering again with the fire department of Jeff City. And so 300 alarms are going into high-risk areas. Shoemate Chapel is the one that we're focusing on today. You might know it. It's a high-risk area because, according to our fire department, there have been several fire-related incidents there. So we're focusing there. We're asking for volunteers to join us for April 28th. If you want any more information, they're also in your packets, or you're welcome to come see me. And another thing I wanted to address is our building right down the street. You might have seen it. Our American Red Cross building, also up there on the screen there, on East McCarty. It is not closing. Rather, we are moving. So the American Red Cross is not leaving Jefferson City by any means. We're very excited to continue to grow our services in Jefferson City. Our new location will be on Emerald Lane, actually a map that was just shown up here earlier. It'll be right next door. And this is where our biomedical center is, so if you've ever given blood in the Jefferson City area, this is probably where you went. So the humanitarian services, which is my line, will also be housed in the same building. So for your information, here are some city contacts. Feel free to reach out. And I wanted to open it up to any Q&As if you have any.
Thank you, Mrs. Anderson, and welcome.
Thank you very much.
We have always been very active and involved. We had former Councilman Dave Griffith was the former director, so we were very involved and connected with him. And we also have some of our board members. I know Councilman Carlos Graham serves on your board, and Councilman Prather serve on the board as well. And we talked a little bit about maybe in the future having something at a work session or tying something in where we could learn a little bit of like basic CPR training or things
You
that
bet.
maybe we should know, but some of us maybe could know better to learn. So some of those life-saving tips that you could teach us that maybe we
Absolutely.
could share with the community. So
Mhm.
we'll look forward to coordinating that with the future, perhaps tying it in with a work session or something that council can work on.
Well,
Are
thank
there
you
any
all.
Questions or comments?
I appreciate the time, and I look forward to partnering with each of you. I'll be calling you soon.
Well, and Mrs. Anderson, why don't we get a picture up front with our two board members?
Sure.
Because you gave us the hashtag Red Cross CNMO, so we need to use it.
You bet.
And we will promote the April 28th Sound the Alarm event.
Wonderful.
Okay, item 8, announcements. So we have this evening the 4 standing committees. We're kind of in transition, but do any of those committees have announcements at this time? Okay. And then we have item B, the some announcements by Mrs. Abbott.
Yes, there is a historic cemetery walking tour on April 21st at 10 a.m. in the morning. We also are have flyers in the packet for the household hazardous waste. We are accepting residential waste from individuals within city limits or Cole County. Must call 634-6410 to schedule an appointment. And we are in our spring cleanup event right now, our annual bulky item residential cleanup, which is offered to all residents of single-family, duplex, and 3-unit apartments. And it began this week on the west side of Jefferson City, so west of Highway 54.
Thank you. Any questions about any of those announcements? Okay, and Councilman Hussey, did you have an announcement as well?
I was just going to remind about Serve Jeff City this Saturday, April 21st, 8 a.m. at McClung Park. We'll kick off with pancakes. Still time to sign up and join the projects. We've got 530 plus volunteers signed up. Mr. Kroll will be there, making the city a prettier place. If you can't make that one, Mission JC is the following weekend, Sunday, April 29th. That website is missionjc.org. I'd encourage you to check that one out as well. And then finally, as if I don't have enough events to be a part of, we've got Porch Fest coming up in a few weeks that Parks and Rec is hosting, and there's a few of us on the planning team for that. But it's Sunday, May 6th, 1 to 4 p.m. along Capitol Avenue. It's a new event for Jefferson City. Musicians, artists, artistic events taking place on, I think, 8 porches along the 500 and 600 block over that 3-hour time frame. We've got some food truck vendors lined up. It's a free event to the public. So check us out. Facebook.com/PorchFestJCMO is the place for information, but hope for good weather that day, and hopefully this event will stick in Jefferson City.
Thank you, Councilman Hussey, and I believe that's the same day as Hidden Spaces Secret Places Tour, so you can go to both on the same day. And what a great way to highlight Capitol Avenue and all of the improvements that are being made there, so that's great. Looking forward to that.
And I think Councilman Graham said he would probably sing on one of the porches that day for us as well. So I should say Councilman Kemna is actually hosting on the porch of the residence that he lives in along there as well. So we can stop by Dave's house and listen to Councilman Graham sing some songs.
I'm gonna bring my banjo.
Well, I think after the last meeting, we already have our song down, right? Because all we've got to say is that we woke up by the river in Jeff City, Mo. Woo! So, yeah, so we're ready. So that kind of ties in, speaking of Capitol Avenue, that ties in with the prison. So going on forward to my announcements, that as we all sang about at the last council meeting, that we have Big and Rich coming to our city on Saturday, June 30th at the prison, the 3rd annual Inside the Walls. Tickets are on sale for $54. So be sure to go online to salutetoamerica.org and you can purchase tickets. And I know, Mom and Dad, I made you proud by singing here, didn't I? Welcome to City Council meeting. This is how it goes around here. So anyway, so yeah, so that's our big announcement. And also, there's a prescription drug take-back program on April 28th through the Police Department and Council for Drug-Free Youth, and that is Saturday, April 28th at the police station from 10 to 2. Anything to add on that, Chief?
No, but thank you for mentioning that.
Sure.
It's always very successful.
Great. Looking forward to that. Any other council announcements? Okay. Item 9, we have our Lincoln University Student Representative update from Miss Carolyn Wanjaro.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. The President's Gala was a real success on the 7th, which was 2 weekends ago. It was great seeing some of you guys. It was a long night, but it was amazing. On Saturday, we had the spring football game, which kicked off Spring Fest. So from the 15th to the 21st, Lincoln University will be having Spring Fest, and you're all invited to come and mingle with the students and experience what they call Coachella, Lincoln University form of Coachella. And on Tuesday Tuesday night at 7 p.m., there's going to be a Blue Tiger Awards in Mitchell Auditorium. And I would love for you guys to come and support the Blue Tigers and continue to exuberate the Blue Tiger flame and pride.
Thank you, Caroline. And what is Coachella, you said?
Yes. It's more of a different events that take place throughout the week. So, like, I think that today they had some decorating, like, bags. They're going to have a foam party. They're going to have, I believe, a barbecue on Saturday outside of Jason Gym. And so it's just kind of bringing in the spring, but it's not really spring because the weather has just not been working
Let's hope it is.
in our favor. But let's hope that this week the weather is going to be favorable in order for, you know, the community and the students to come together and enjoy being outside.
Wonderful. Thank you for that report. And we're also very happy to welcome the new president, Mrs. Gerald Woolfolk, and we'll look forward to having her come to a future city council meeting when she's settled here. And that was nice that they had her introduced at the gala along with her family, and also appreciating the interim president as well and all of his work as well, Mr. Middleton. So we really appreciate what they've done for Lincoln University and look forward to welcoming Gerald. All right, thank you. Item 10, presentations from the gallery on specific bills or resolutions. We have 2 people signed up. First,
Well, Abigail's for.
oh, she's gone already, so is that just Mr. Glenn Miller? Okay, all right, well, welcome. Thank you for being here. Okay, so item 11, consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Is there, and any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right. Item 12, we have no bills introduced. And item 13, bills pending. We've taken up 2017-126, on to 2017-127.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, accepting and approving the final subdivision plat of Cliffside Estates, a subdivision of the City of Jefferson, Missouri.
Mr. Barron?
If I could have the visual on the screen. Thank you, Madam Mayor. This bill would approve a final subdivision plat for a property located in the 900 block of Boonville Road. Up on the screen is a location map with zoning, and the property is highlighted. There's the properties on the north side of Boonville Road, essentially at the intersection with Belmont. And the property is zoned in RS2, which is a single-family residential zoning district. There is currently one single-family home on the property, which you can see in the air photo on the screen, roughly in the center of the property. The purpose of the subdivision plat is to plat the property into 3 lots, with 1 lot being on around the existing home, and then new lots on either side of it. And so a total of 2 new single-family buildable lots. The subdivision plat was recommended for approval by the Planning and Zoning Commission, vote of 6-0. I'd be happy to answer any questions the council may have.
Thank you, Mr. Barron. Any questions? Okay, so any deliberation by council? All right, roll call, please.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Kimna.
Aye.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward. Aye. Wiseman.
Aye.
Fitzwater.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Bill passes. 2017-128.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a $66,970 agreement with Jeffries Electrical Services Incorporated for the stationary generator for 2320 Hyde Park Road project.
Mr. Marash?
Thank you. As clerk indicated, construction contract to install a generator. It's at our wastewater facility at Hyde Park, and we have to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions or deliberation? Roll call, please.
Hussey.
Aye.
Kimna.
Aye.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward. Wiseman. Fitzwater.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Bill passes. 2017-129.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri designating 130 East High Street as a local historic landmark.
Mrs. Abbott?
Yes, if it's all right with the council, I would like to go ahead and take up 129 and 130 together, if that's okay with the council.
Sure.
Okay. The landmark designation is a honorary item for which the local, or which property owners do make an application to the Historic Preservation Commission. Pursuant to Section 8-42 of the City Code, a property is eligible for the landmark designation if the Historic Preservation Commission determines that it meets any of the following criteria. Criteria A, where the potential landmark is an identifiable neighborhood or distinct geographical area which has historic and/or cultural importance to the city. Criteria B, a potential landmark is associated with particular prominent person, a significant event, or historic period. Criterion C, the potential landmark exhibits a particular architectural style or school, or associated with a particular architect, engineer, builder, designer, or craftsman. Or criterion D, the potential landmark contains historic, prehistoric, and archaeological features, evidence, and/or artifacts which have the potential to contribute to the understanding of the historic and prehistoric cultures. This year, the Historic Preservation Commission has recommended 3 properties, but we're moving forward with 2, and I'll explain it in a bit. The Landmark Designation Award is given out each year during our Heritage Week celebration. This year we're celebrating that on Tuesday, May 15th at 4 p.m. here in the City Hall in the council chambers. Apparently excuse me. Have Jessica help me out. Okay, so for bill number 2017-129, we do have the property owners here with in the audience, and it is the mayor's father and mother, and the property is actually 130 East High Street, which is known as the Brandenburger Drugstore. It's located within the Missouri State Capitol Historic District National Register, which was constructed prior to 1985. The property was acquired by Adolf Brandenburger in 1881 as a drugstore, and I am not even going to try to attempt pronouncing the douche apocalypse. Thank you. And operated as a drugstore, and I was told it was even later than 1950s. I believe 1970s possibly. Yes. So the facade has been rehabbed to include the reconstruction of the transom above the storefront and construction of a balcony to match the size and design to archival photos dating back to the 1890. As I mentioned, if we want, we can pause right here if you would like to.
If you want to do both of them,
Okay.
we can take a picture.
Okay. And then the bill 2017-130, 720 East High Street. This property owner is Donna and Michael Dietz. They own the property here. The land was originally bought and sold by James Bolin, who served in Congress as a member of the Missouri House of Representatives. House was built prior to 1869, and likely by Diedrich Osterman, and sold around 1908 to Reverend Joseph Sillinger, rector of St. Peter Catholic Church. So the house was restored back to the original brick with tuck pointing and lots of other painstakingly redoing the interior to preserve as much as possible, such as the floors and transom. I do believe this house was also a Golden Hammer Award, which is an award given out by a local actually by Historic City of Jefferson. These, both properties are under consideration tonight for the landmark designation under Bill number 2017-129 and 130. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mrs. Abbott, and I know Donna and Mike Dietz were unable to make the meeting this evening, but they'll be at the reception on Tuesday, May 15th. And I know they have taken on several properties in this area, and we appreciate all their hard work and dedication to that. And then I'd like to recognize the mother and father of the mayor. So Jim and Irene Turgeon, if you all want to come up and come forward, we'll get a picture. But very proud of you for Brandenburger building and what you've done there over the years. Of course, it's known as the world famous coffee zone now, is the place where everybody goes in Jefferson City to meet and get to know people. So that's the use that it is now. But above there, people may not realize there is some apartment space, and that was completely vacant until you took it on and renovated, and now there's 3 apartment units up there, which is a great asset to our community. But the building itself and the renovations that you completed by adding the metal balcony and refurbishing inside and out is very much appreciated. And I will say, with full disclosure, I had nothing to do with this. I knew nothing about it. In fact, I didn't know until after the selection was made that you had even were nominated, so I knew nothing about any of that, just to be fair. But I'm really proud of what you've done for downtown Jefferson City, and especially with this building. It's just an honor for our family, so I'd speak on behalf of the Turgeons and say that. So proud of you all. So if you want to come forward, Mom and Dad, let's get a picture. And I know they tune in. They actually watch. We have 2 of our viewers here that they do. They're the 2 that are tuning in.
Thank you. You had so much to do with it. Thank you.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, because.
Want one on your phone?
Thanks.
All right, so before we take up these 2 bills, is there any questions or council deliberation on the 2 bills? All right, so we'll start with, let's see, 127, 129, and you've read that one already. So any further discussion? So roll call, please.
Kimna,
Aye.
Mahalovich,
Aye.
Prather,
Aye.
Schreiber,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Wiseman,
Aye.
Fitzwater,
Aye.
Graham,
Aye.
Henry,
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Bill passes. And 2017-130.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri designating 720 East High Street as a local historic landmark.
Any further council deliberation? All right, roll call, please.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber. Ward.
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Fitzwater.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Kimna.
Aye.
All right, bill passes. 2017-131, and I think, Jamie, do we need to read that and withdraw the bill, or what's the process on that?
I do believe the sponsor would be officially withdrawing the bill.
Yes, Madam Mayor, I would like to request that 131 be removed at this time due to some additional information that needs to be submitted and taken up again.
Okay, so seeing no objections to that, we will withdraw the bill. Correct? Okay. All right, and 2017-132.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with Musselman and Hall Contractors, LLC, in the amount of $148,571.16 for the 2018 Fog Seal project.
Mr. Marash?
Thank you. As clerk indicated, construction contract with Musselman and Hall. List of streets for this project are listed in the packet, but it's a fog seal project, and really the goal of the project is to prolong the life of our street overlays. Be happy to answer any question.
Any questions or deliberation? Okay, roll call, please.
Prather.
Aye.
Schreiber.
Aye.
Ward.
Aye.
Wiseman.
Aye.
Fitzwater.
Aye.
Graham.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Hussey.
Aye.
Kimna.
Aye.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Bill passes. Item 14, nothing on the informal. Item 15, no resolutions. Item 16, nobody signed up for the presentations from the gallery. Item 17, is there any council and staff discussions of presentations? Okay. Item 18, any new business? Item 19, unfinished business. We do have a very tall order here for unfinished business. Presentation to outgoing council member, Mr. Councilman Larry Henry. So it's hard to believe that this is your last meeting with us, and I am going to present a special plaque with you this evening, and I'm sure that some council members will have some special comments to share as well, but wanted to start by sincerely thanking you for all of your years of service, and it's much appreciated. You've really had an amazing positive influence on our community by your service in that council seat. And I'm going to continue a tradition that John Landwehr had, and that was where he gave each outgoing councilman a word. And this was kind of hard for you. I don't know why. It was hard for me to think of just the right word. But the word I came up with is soar, as in fly. So S-O-A-R, like soar. Because you kind of, even though just with your height, you tend to kind of soar above all of us, especially this really short mayor. But you also seem to give that lift to people around you, and in the neighborhoods that you serve in our community, you allow them to kind of go above and beyond what they even think they can do, and I've seen that, I've witnessed that with your service on different boards and commission. You do it as a councilman, but you also do it in your everyday work. The work that you do really lifts others up and kind of gives them that extra boost that they often need in life, and you really do make others soar. And so I just think that's something that I think of. And in addition, I know even with your family, and I know that you've been busy tending to your father, and I know that that's something that you will continue to do all that you can in life to help him continue to soar above any issues that he has going on as well. And I know that means a lot to your family and to him. But continue to seek the heights and to seek all these great things, because the best is yet to come. But we are certainly very grateful for your service and all that you've done to really lift Jefferson City up, and appreciate that. So don't stop doing that. I hope that you stick around here, because once you go off council, I can appoint you to boards and commissions. So looking forward to that too. But certainly you've been a wonderful friend and also a great councilman, and just continue to soar and fly and do these great things for our community. So a sincere thanks. And I'm sure that there's others here. I don't know if we want to go around the room and end up, or who wants to start? Councilman Prather?
I'll start. Larry came on the council with Rick and I, and we got thrown in the fire the first meeting, I believe, that we were at. But just wanted to mention that because that really made an impression. But one word I wanted to describe you as, for lack of a better word, is blunt. And what I mean by that is you're to the point. You tell things the way it is. You don't sugarcoat anything, and we just appreciate, we know how you stand on every particular issue. Thank you.
Councilman Mahalovich?
Yeah, it's a pleasure coming on the council at the same time and going through the same fire we went through. And my word was heart. You take citizens' comments to heart. You advocate with the heart for those citizens. You have a heart for helping people. And for those reasons and many more, I'm appreciative, and I'm glad to call you a friend, and thank you for your service to the council.
Councilman Schreiber?
Larry, as the other Fifth Ward Council person, I want to thank you for all the help that you've given me And I think that you're a gentleman, you're a friend, and you've been most honorable. And it's been a pleasure to have served with you. Thank you very much.
Councilwoman Weisman?
Thank you. Councilman Henry, it's been excellent serving with you on the council. I also get to see you in court, and so I think I want to thank you because I think you're a fantastic resource, both on and off the council. And I appreciate your service here, and I appreciate your service in the community. And I'm going to miss you, but I'm going to have you close by to be able to talk to you about these things. So I'm very grateful for that.
Councilman Fitzwater?
Well, I would just say I've only had the opportunity to be up here 1 year. It's somewhat intimidating, which John will find out soon, to come up here, and I've had the luxury of sitting beside two very seasoned members of the council. I appreciate the guidance and the support, and John's got big shoes to fill, but we appreciate, and I appreciate personally, the relationship.
Any other comments by council? Councilwoman Ward?
I agree with all the comments. I know, Larry, I'm going to miss you, but I know that you're only a text away. There's lots of words, compassionate and dedicated, and but I chose solid because you're solid in so many areas, in your honesty, in your dedication, in your compassion, in your friendship, just in everything that you do. You just encompass all those great character building qualities, and I'm truly going to miss you.
Councilman
And she kind of took one of my words, but I used the word rock for the 5th Ward. And I just know that it was an honor to work with you this first year, and I was also honored to serve as a treasurer for you, and still am, kind of technically. But you're going to be missed. You're a friend, and like Aaron said, definitely someone that I will continue to just kind of seek advice and lean on, for as we continue to go. So thank you for everything.
So many good words. So, I mean, and I had written down heartfelt, like Rick did, which is so true, just in your life and who you connect with and your passion. But as I sat here, I thought, Larry always had style too. Like, there's a certain just swagger and style and persona to Larry Henry that, like, when you walk in a room, people know you've walked in the room, and like you carry yourself so well. And so I'm certainly gonna miss that. But again, I know you're a phone call, a cup of coffee, a text message away. You ain't going anywhere, because there's still a lot of things to do in this community. They're gonna need you to do them. So appreciate you.
Councilman Graham?
Certainly, my word is original that I came up with, so that word is tall. Nah, I'm just playing. The word I have to use for Councilman Henry is passionate. Whether it's here in these in these chambers, or whether it's having coffee or whatever it is, going to visit constituents, he is passionate about the issues and the issues at hand. And I just want to say that I appreciate that, and I know the constituents of Ward 5 certainly appreciate that. It's hard to believe that 21 years ago, when I first came to Lincoln University, I'm gonna tell it. I was a dorm director, and Larry was a student. He was a first-time student, and Larry had this charisma about himself. Is that I'm the director, so I'm in charge. There's like 134 young men in the building. So Larry would always come down and just see what's going on with me, while the other guys upstairs would be doing what they were doing. And Larry was always that guy to come down and just, hey, let's just talk, let's have a conversation, while other sneaky things would be going on upstairs. But Councilman Henry, who would have thought that fast forward years later, that you and I will both be serving on the city council together. I am very happy that we did this together, and I am more than happy to call you a friend, and really mean that. I'm going to miss walking downtown with you up here and me down here, and people looking at us like, I'm already super short and you're super tall. So, but like I said, the word for you is passionate. I know you're only a phone call away, but I will miss you serving here in these chambers, but I know that you're certainly on speed dial and only a text away.
Thank you for those wonderful comments for Councilman Henry, and it is our honor to present to you a key to the city, and this reads, Larry Henry, in recognition of outstanding service to the people of the city of Jefferson, April 16th, 2012 to April 16th, 2018. So congratulations and thank you for your many years of service. And now we'll get a picture, and of course we want all of the council members to come up here and to be in this picture when it comes in. I already got told that one's too tall. This is not gonna learn here in front.
Nobody.
Wait a minute, let's get a.
All right.
All right, well, at this time, item 20, we adjourn sine die, and
Madam,
we... Oh, Larry, I'm sorry. Yes, you have the floor. It's yours.
Oh. Am I supposed to make, is this where I say some things?
Yes.
Oh, man. I'll try to keep it brief. Just first and foremost, it was a pleasure, a really big pleasure and honor to serve the city of Jefferson. And specifically, extra special thanks to the residents of the Fifth Ward. Without them, I'm not sitting in this seat for 6 years. None of us are sitting in these seats without the residents that we serve. The entire city as a whole, I've gotten to know and build a lot of good relationships with people here in the city. I'll continue to keep doing that. Thank you to, I've done this in some of our committee meetings, but thank you to the city staff for your guidance and information that you guys provide us. There's never been a time where I couldn't call any of you guys and not get solid and sound information that helps us do the jobs that we do to serve the citizens of the city. And also and last but not least, to my colleagues, past and present. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure and honor to serve with you guys. And I couldn't imagine 6 years going by this fast. When I embarked on this back in 2012, actually 2011, and then got elected in 2012, I had no clue I would be doing this for as long as I have. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to the city, residents. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Larry. Well, we really appreciate you. You will be greatly missed, but like I said, think of what you want to be serving on, because we're not going to let that go. So we will use your knowledge. So, all right. Thank you. Okay, item 20, adjourn sine die, and that just means we're going to do an adjourn for the administration of the oath of office. So we have with us the Honorable Patricia Joyce, presiding judge for the 19th Judicial Circuit. Yes.
While she's here, I'd like to thank Judge Patricia Joyce. I actually work for and with her for our treatment court stuff up at the courthouse. She knows what I go through every day with counsel over these past 4 to 5 years, and she's been there for me also. She knows about the meetings and things like that, so I want to give her a really extra special thanks as well.
I want to just jump in and thank counsel from the fourth quarter not about, I think when I was thinking about what it was, because I was giving Larry a bunch of grief about all these words, but I want to say what I think about Larry is honorable. And I think that we do not serve, Larry's honorable. He's always looking at the right thing to do, and he always does the right thing. And when I look at how government works, I am so proud to be a part of local government and what we do here, because, you know, we have that responsibility to everybody. And Larry really has exemplified being honorable, come forward to do the right thing, no matter what's going on. And I think everybody at local government really does that, and I'm proud to be a part of it.
Thank you, Judge. Wonderful, heartfelt comments. Wonderful.
More time with us.
Yes. Yes, so we will adjourn. So do we need a motion and second?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Okay, so we are adjourned, sine die, and we will have our council